Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. I am here with Miss Bella. So Miss Bella is a trained puppy, a training puppy. She's in our training program. Sit, come, stay, heel, down, crate trained, acclimated to fireworks, thunderstorms, acclimated to all kinds of goodies, and weather permitting, we'll advance that dramatically. Okay, so Bella is 12 weeks old, and 13 weeks old, and roughly, give or take. Anyhow, so just now getting these videos going on her, and what we're doing, I want to show you guys how I start these puppies and so forth. I kind of got a mess in here just because I've been working a few dogs earlier today and I didn't clean up my mess, so bear with me on that. It's gonna be a little messy, like right here in this water right here. Okay, so the first thing we do with our puppies, besides what we do when they're younger stages, okay, and this is just for training, how we start them in training and different things like that. So there's a couple things going on, okay? The first thing you guys will always hear me talk about and do, etc., 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 is going to be socialization, okay? Now, for the average breeder, and when I say average, I mean at the top level of average, okay? People's socialization is going to be like, good girl, Bella. She took the ball. The top level of average is going to be like, oh yeah, we have kids around the puppies, and we do this with the puppies, we do that with the puppies, yada 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 yada. Okay, well, that's great. I mean, pat on their backs. At least they're doing something besides leaving the puppy in a crate all day or a pen all day, and whatever. The biggest thing is socialization. Okay, and so when you pick up a puppy, either from the shelters or from a breeder. Now, let me qualify something just really quick before we go on. Some puppies, their behavior, it's their personality to be a little bit more reserved, okay? That's their personality. Just like, us, some of us are outgoing. Some of us like to be in the spotlight. Some of us don't. It's the same thing with puppies, or dogs. Some of them have a lot of energy. Some of them don't. A lot of it has to do with the breeding. Some of it doesn't. It's just their personality. And I mean, what I mean by breeding is some of it has, like the high energy side. If you breed high energy dogs, like field dogs and so forth, you're going to have a more higher energy. You could actually breed that level of energy to a certain realm, okay? Then the personality, genetics takes place there. That's what I meant by that as far as the breeding side of it. So not trying to get too carried away with that, and I don't want to make this video long. So here's what I do. The first thing when I start a puppy is, I get a lot of questions like, what's the deal with the green bucket in the room? It's like the elephant in the room, I guess. Well, basically is this. Watch how she runs by it. See that? I can't tell you how many dogs I get that will not pass that bucket, okay? It's something swinging above their head. It makes them nervous. It scares the death out of them. It scares a lot of other stuff out of them. It makes them nervous, okay? So then if you notice, I got my squeegee here on the floor. Come on, sweetheart. Kick the ball down that way. Okay, what I'm doing is getting her used to seeing this on the floor, seeing this around her, because this can make puppies nervous. Okay, now I don't want to make a toy out of it where she's chasing it all the time, but I want her to respect this, but I don't want her to be afraid of this. Okay, see how she's a little bit, see how that she like looked at it like, oh, that's cool, turn away, walk away from it, okay? Come on, Bella. Come on, Bella. Over here, sweetheart. So, okay, so as we're doing all this, we're also, let me grab this ball real quick out of behind the dehumidifier. Okay, we got the ball going, okay? So she can play, have fun, and she can run around, okay? And we do all this together. Now, so she's playing, have fun, and then we have the bucket, okay? What I have inside the bucket is water. There's the water, okay? The reason I do that, it has a weight to it. A couple of other things with the bucket is if the dog gets excited, and I've had it this way too. I've either had the dog is scared to death of the bucket, or they jump all over the bucket. Well, this way when it moves, it kind of teaches them not to jump because it kind of gives them unstability when they kind of try to touch the bucket. And so it kind of keeps them like, see how she's on her feet when she goes underneath there? And it keeps her monitoring where her head's at, okay? So it works really good at that. Plus, if I set this 5-gallon bucket on the floor, she can smell the water in there, and she's prone to try to drink out of it, and I don't want her flipping upside down in there, going head first. That's a bad situation. And we'll stop right there on that one. Okay, so then I've got, there's a lot of things going on here, folks, when we start this, okay? So now keep in mind, there's a lot of preliminary work that goes on, okay? So and some of this stuff is kind of like elementary, like, oh yeah, that's no big deal. I do that with my dog, and oh yeah, I do this, and we do more than that, and blah, 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 which is great, because like the more you can do with your dog, the better, okay? Now, and we do a lot of preliminary work too on this, so that a lot of this stuff is not shown on camera, just because it takes so much time, and I don't want to bore you out of your mind. But you got to get your dog used to different sounds. Okay, this is an air gun on my air compressor right over here. Okay, so what we do is basically there's two things. Number one, we get her used to hearing this number, okay? That's probably really loud on the camera because I'm like putting it right here by my face. Okay, now what's going to happen is once my PS level kicks down to a certain level, okay, what she's going to do is okay, perfect. She's going to go down here because what I don't want it to happen, let's watch her when this kicks on. Well, I don't want her right there, ideally. Come on, Bella. Now watch when she, okay, perfect, there we go. Let's watch her. Now you can hear the compressor just kicked on. Okay, good girl, Bella. See your personality. Okay, see, she's like, whatever. Let me wait until that, I'm gonna wait until that kicks off so I can talk. It's not really loud. And basically, well, let me wait till this goes. See how she just has a blast? Doesn't bother her. I bet, there we go, it shut off. See, she plays with the ball. So let me, without getting too long and gated on this, let me explain what's going on behind this, okay? When you have a tennis ball or something to play with, they have something that's positive that they can associate a positivity with all of this environment that's going on, okay? So there's a lot that's going on. Now keep in mind, I've been working with her quite some time on this, so this isn't her first rodeo, but if I give her a ball to play with, it keeps her mind activated on things, and as she goes through different levels of this, and trust me when I say this, it's going to get more intense, okay? We're going to have the bucket flinging. I changed directions of the bucket, so instead of going sideways, I'll go this way with the bucket. So she sees the bucket coming at her like it is me, right there, see that? So she's sitting here, this bucket's coming at her. It builds confidence, and again, it's not something that I just do right off the bat. We build them up for this, okay? And you say, well, that sounds so simple and so silly. But, folks, I can't tell you how many dogs I've had in here that are scared to death to walk by this bucket, okay? Just dogs that I'm training in general. And these are supposed to be well-socialized puppies. And, you know, they come by this bucket, and they're looking up at it like, ain't happening. Now, you know, give them, you know, let's give us the benefit of the doubt here. You cannot train a puppy within a certain amount of time everything they need to know. I mean, it's impossible, okay? They got their whole life long. Okay, then we got these doors right here, right? And they open, make a lot of noise. Now what I do is, see how she's doing with her crate? Look at this, guys. So I give her an opportunity to go in her crate. I just leave it open all the time. She goes in there and lays down. Isn't that awesome? Look at this. I'm sorry, the camera's moving all over the place. Bella. There you go, you cute girl. I got all kinds of hair over there with some other dogs. Oh, what a mess. Sorry, folks. Come say hi. She's like, whatever. Anyways, so we do that, and we also leave the crate open. Let me back this out so you can see it. We leave the crate door open for her, so she can go in here anytime. I put her tennis ball in there so she goes and gets it. You know, let me show you this just really quick. The divider is right here, so it's a little over halfway for her. So she's got plenty of room in there, but you got to have a divider in there so it keeps her up here. Otherwise, she'll go back here and poop and pee, and then you have a mess on your hands. So, and that's it. So I don't put any toys in there with her. If I would shut her in here for a little while, I would just take the toys out and then so forth. And when she's young like this, I do not put her in there with any, if you notice there's no collar on her, okay? I don't put her in there with a collar on there, especially when they're young. Okay, when they get older, I will. Like if you saw past videos of Diesel or other videos of other Diesels and who else do we have just recently? Anyway, a bunch of all the other dogs. If you see those videos, you'll see them with the collars on, because what we're teaching them is now that we're in the house, we have rules, and this is what this is simulating, is the house, obviously. But when she's young like this, I don't put her in there with a collar, just for the fact that, you know, when they're puppies, they're always moving around in here, okay? I don't want to take any risk of her collar potentially getting inside this here, okay? And it can happen. It's not that big of a deal as far as the older dogs. I've never had it happen with one of the older dogs, but I have had it with the younger puppy of my own, and I just don't like to take the risk of it. So, okay, well, that's how we start. This is, when I say start, I'm not joking. This is how we start them, is we build on the socialization, okay? And as much noise as you could possibly make, the better, okay? And I will spend hours in this shed with little Bella, and we'll take her outside and this, that, and the other. We've got food bowls, stainless steel food bowls. I've got a stack of them here. Oh, someone spilled their food. So I got a stack of food bowls here, and then what we do is we'll just throw them. She's like, huh, that's interesting. She's like, that's interesting that you do that, because she's like, that's interesting that you do that, because I don't remember my mother doing that at all. Okay, bad joke. Me and my terrible humor. We'll come down here, grab him again. Excuse me, ma'am. Let's try to do 3 this time. We'll do all 3 of them. What's that? Something wrong? Let me investigate. Is there something wrong? No, everything's good. So we really build on these. I gotta wash these bowls. They're due for washing. So like I said, we really build on socialization. The next thing we're gonna do, which you will not see this on camera, is that we're due to power wash all this. We're gonna disinfect the crates. We're gonna power wash the walls all the way down the side. We're gonna power wash the floor and whatever. Whoa, easy. Whoa, what do you think this is, a raceway? I don't know if you guys seen that, but she went flying through here and whipped around the dehumidifier and then came out the other side. So what we're gonna do is, let me put this down too, is we're gonna power wash the, carefully little lady, the floor. So what we'll do is we'll run the power washer in here too. It's an electric power washer, so it's very safe, as you don't have the gas fumes. It puts out enough power, but yet it kicks on and off. I don't know if any of you have ever, let me just show it to you real quick. It's a cheap power washer. But, there it is right there, the Ninja. Okay, so we plug that in, hook the water up to it, and basically what that does is kick on, kick off, has a lot of different noises, and they get used to that as well, okay? So that's what we're working on now with her, okay? And then in the mornings, just to kind of give you an idea of what I do and how I do it, is in the mornings, here's what we do. We bring her over here and we feed her and let her have drink, and she's timed right now. She's on a timing schedule. And then what we'll do is do all the socialization part of it. Okay, so we'll like take this guy and do this number like that. See how it gives that? It's got a real deep sound to it. I don't know if you heard that or not. Let me do it again. See, she just looks at it like whatever. So in the mornings we do that, okay? And then in the evenings, we will work with her on the socialization part. During the middle of the day, she's either in her crate, goes outside, goes potty, and then we just play. Okay, so what I'm trying to get her used to on the playing part is that we spent, basically it's a bonding time for me while she's young like this. I won't spend gobs of time like during the middle of the day to do quote unquote training. We basically give her rides in the mule and go down to the lake. We're gonna get her acclimated to the water. You guys will see that, and then kind of go from there. So that will kind of give you an idea of what the day looks like for her as of now. It's gonna change dramatically as she gets older, and then as we get into the more formal side of the training, and so forth. So you're kind of seeing the morning side of her training now. And once we get into the command training, I'm going to show you guys that too. And I'm just going to show you guys as we're doing it. It might be a little difficult for me because I'm one-handed when I do this, but I'll let you guys see that too. So again, this is Bella. She's 12 to 13 weeks old, not quite 13 weeks old yet. And you guys can see that as we're progressing with her. You can guys see all that happen. So stay tuned. We'll see you on the next one.